Every year since 2019, SK Newsline has chosen a Person of the Year. This year, instead, we were inclined to choose a group of people because of their remarkable achievement. Our choice this year for People of the Year is the St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Team. The St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Team has been competing since 2017 at the first global robotics competition, each time maintaining a high finish in the competition. A team from a small country to go on the world stage and dominate the competition year after year is no small feat. The robotics team is comprised of young people from St. Kitts and Nevis from all walks of life and ethnicities, bringing their skills, knowledge and love for the sciences and STEAM subjects. The team is led by Dr. Ricardo Neal of the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College.
It is unlike the first time where persons are not sure as to who we are. Now they know who we are. The first and second time when we traveled to represent St. Kitts and Nevis, persons asked a lot of questions. What is that flag? Who are these people? Where are you guys from? And so between that time and now, there is no surprise as to who we are. As a matter of fact, members who represent in the first global competition oftentimes inquire as to whether or not we are coming. So they want to know, is St. Kitts and Nevis coming? Because we tend to bring this kind of energy to the competition that other countries are expecting to see us. And we do not see it as just to travel to compete. We see it as an ambassadorial role, right? To let persons know, hey, St. Kitts and Nevis is here. We have a very diverse, population. We have a strong, tourism sector, and so, by us traveling, it attracts various persons around.
The St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Team represented the Federation in Geneva, Switzerland this year and was able to retain its position on the world's ranking stage, including the OECS and Caribbean respectively. The St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Team made history this year when the first Global Robotics Olympics chose Mr. Brandon Powell as one of the many judges. This is an achievement not only for him, but for the country. This is another honor for the Federation. The 2022 robotics team has represented the country well, not only as a team, but as ambassadors. Dr. Neal, mentor of the St. Kitts and Nevis robotics team, was pleased to have built the necessary relationships with key founders in the robotics industry and gaming industry during the competition this year. Relationships were built with Rev Robotics and Intel Corporation. This relationship will help St. Kitts and Nevis develop the necessary challenges for the youth in the Federation. For this year, the St. Kitts and Nevis robotics team was ranked in the following areas. Number 7th out of 162 countries in worldwide carbon points ranking, number 26th out of 200 countries in the world ranking, 2nd in the Caribbean out of 40 countries, 1st in the OECS out of 11 countries, and received the award of excellence in the area of engineering. Some first world countries lost to St. Kitts and Nevis at this year's competition, including Canada, Spain, and the UAE. The St. Kitts and Nevis Robotics Team, the SKN Newsline 2022 People of the Year.
Queen Independent was crowned Calypso Monarch 2022-2023 at the 29th December Flow Senior Calypso Finals held at the Warner Park Event Stadium. Queen Independent amassed 827 points with her two songs, The Cure and Flashlight. In first runner-up position was veteran King Socrates with 818 points, singing Double Slice and Salty, Fatty and Sweet. Queen Diva captured the second runner-up position, attaining 784 points with her songs What Goes Around and The Power of Black. Queenie G slotted into the third runner-up position with 779 points, singing The Same Finger and New Day. Here are some highlights of the Calypso Finals.
Don't you get comfortable, see with a clear mandate, the country now needs you. So with a feet, jump to the door, a 5 years not guaranteed for sure. Doctor, do you have the cure?
When I'm in paradise, St. Kitts and Nevis is nice, a double scoop and double slice. The Caribbean with its natural charms and beauty, without question has been blessed by the Almighty. So when I compare, it becomes crystal clear. They get a double slice of pound.
And what goes around comes right back around. As sure as there is the moon, and as sure as there is the sun, see what goes around comes right back around. Love boys, that's the real power of just one finger. It could cause you pain or drive you insane with ecstasy. The same.
Other contestants were the defending monarch King Astro, King Honesty, Empress Lyrics, King Hollywood, King Craig, and Queen Kibi. Glenn Butt reporting for SK Newsline.
I rise in a point of order.
You should be here.
Listen. Listen. When we get it back,
You should be here.
when we get it back in the
You should be here.
when we go sit and wine again.
You should be here.
What if Carnival sail on the ark again?
You should be here.
Thing we know. We want back with Carnival.
You should be here.
One thing for sure. We need back.
Thank you for shopping at Smart Electronics throughout the year.
Happy holidays from Smart Electronics
And Island Electronics.
When you're looking to sell, buy, rent, or manage a property, your answer has to be Diamond Real Estate and Management St. Kitts, Dreams. They provide oversight of real estate and physical property in St. Kitts and Nevis, perform regular maintenance, utility payments, and safety checks to ensure your property is well kept. Dreams manages and optimizes your rental listing, recruits tenants, and much more. Looking to sell that parcel of land or property, or dreaming of owning your own? Trust Dreams under the leadership and experience of its CEO, Velma Merchant. Many can attest to her professionalism and customer service. Diamond Real Estate Management St. Kitts. Call 663-7326 or visit their office at 15 Shadwell Industrial Estate, making your real estate dreams come true. The management of Quality Cleaning Service would like to wish all its customers over the past year a wonderful, peaceful, and joyous Christmas and a prosperous 2023 when it comes. Quality Cleaning Service is grateful to its customers for their patronage and support over the past year and looks forward to serving you in the new year. Quality Cleaning Service, professional quality cleaning service with a personal touch. Quality, value, peace of mind. Located at 58 James Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts and Nevis. Call 665-8042.
You should be here.
Despite all the controversies surrounding Carnival festivities.
While St. Kitts and Nevis and the rest of the world are warily watching the rise in COVID-19 cases in China and the lifting of restrictions there, the high vaccination rate and the need to maintain protective measures should allay any fears of a resurgence of the virus here. So explains advisor to the Ministry of Health, Dr. Patrick Martin, in an interview with SKN Newsline.
The concern is not a St. Kitts and Nevis concern only, it's a global concern that we may be facing new variants coming out of China. A person coming from China has to stop at 1 or 2 ports, and those ports will be indirect checkpoints for St. Kitts and Nevis. The monitoring of the situation is the remit of the Office of the Chief Medical Officer, in conjunction with colleague Chief Medical Officers in the OECS and CARICOM, with technical support from CAFA and PAHO. So that function, that monitoring function, has not stopped because the pandemic is not over. So the monitoring continues, and governments will be advised accordingly based on what the science is showing. Number 2, the pharmaceutical and non-pharmaceutical measures continue to apply. So there's absolute need to continue to encourage maximum practicing of strict personal hygiene, and for those persons who are considering vaccination, it's important for vaccine stocks to be adequate.
The Health Ministry advisor and former Chief Medical Officer noted that vaccination has proven to work, but measures should be taken if a new variant emerges.
We do not know if a new variant is upon us. We pray not. If not, then our current situation, our current level of immunity, both vaccine-derived and infection-derived, would serve us in good stead. If there's a heaven forbid scenario of a new variant that is particularly virulent, then a new vaccination or complementary vaccination will have to be considered. If nature throws up a different variant and the science shows that we need to boost our vaccination, that will be the policy recommendation.
Chinese state media have railed against the growing number of foreign governments imposing COVID tests on travelers from China, calling the measures discriminatory. Having kept its borders all but shut for 3 years, imposing a strict regime of lockdowns and relentless testing, Beijing abruptly reversed course toward living with the virus on December 7th, and infections have spread rapidly in recent weeks. Countries in the Caribbean and around the world are monitoring the situation in China. Andre Huey, SKN Newsline.
Dr. Timothy Harris, the immediate former Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, was critical of the 2023 national budget passed in the National Assembly of St. Kitts and Nevis during the December 2022 budget debate sit-in. Dr. Harris made comments on the budget when he was a recent guest on the radio talk show Straight Talk, hosted by socio-political commentator Ian Patches-Libert, himself a former Minister of Government in the first term of the Harris-led Team Unity political coalition. Harris said the budget was lacking in inspiration, among other considerations of which he spoke.
If we start from the standpoint of public accountability, national development, we would want a government budget that provide guidance, support, inspired, coordinated national action, and the priorities identified for the upcoming year. And clearly, in this regard, we had a budget that fell short at many scores. Certainly, when one listened to the budget presentation, we had a focus more on hearsay and melee rather than substantive issues. And in a real sense, the budget proved itself to be incoherent. There was a lot of patchwork, as it were, cut and paste here and there, taking ideas from my administration, and that is good and well because governments are continuous, but at the same time a calculated effort to almost deny that there was an existence of a government before the coming into being of the new Labour administration. And that is fortunate, that is a retrogressive stand to have been taken. And we saw that calculated effort to appropriate all the good things done by my administration, continue a number of programs, and yet at the same time, for them to seem to want to pursue a line that before their coming, there was nothing happening in the country. So we saw this stark dishonesty.
According to the former Prime Minister, he was unable to speak on the budget because the Minister of Finance moved an early motion for the closure of the debate and for the subsequent voting on the 2023 budget. Glenn Bart reporting for SK Newsline.
Raising a point of order.
You should be here.
Listen. Listen. When we get back,
You should be here.
When we get back in the
You should be here.
When we go sit and wine again.
You should be here.
What if Carnival sail on the ark again?
You should be here.
We know. We want back with Carnival.
You should be here.
One thing for sure. We need back.
Thank you for shopping at Smart Electronics throughout the year.
Happy holidays from Smart Electronics
And Island Electronics.
When you're looking to sell, buy, rent, or manage a property, your answer has to be Diamond Real Estate and Management St. Kitts, Dreams. They provide oversight of real estate and physical property in St. Kitts and Nevis, perform regular maintenance, utility payments, and safety checks to ensure your property is well kept. Dreams manages and optimizes your rental listing, recruits tenants, and much more. Looking to sell that parcel of land or property, or dreaming of owning your own? Trust Dreams under the leadership and experience of its CEO, Velma Merchant. Many can attest to her professionalism and customer service. Diamond Real Estate Management St. Kitts. Call 663-7326 or visit their office at 15 Shadwell Industrial Estate, making your real estate dreams come true. The management of Quality Cleaning Service would like to wish all its customers over the past year a wonderful, peaceful, and joyous Christmas and a prosperous 2023 when it comes. Quality Cleaning Service is grateful to its customers for their patronage and support over the past year and looks forward to serving you in the new year. Quality Cleaning Service, professional quality cleaning service with a personal touch. Quality, value, peace of mind. Located at 58 James Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts and Nevis. Call 665-8042.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune into Voice of the Caribbean Radio for great Caribbean programs, news, entertainment, sports, and current affairs. Wake up each morning and be inspired with One Day at a Time with Kim Huey. Stay abreast with news across the Caribbean and internationally with the Caribbean News Hour and be entertained with shows like Reggaeville, Caribbean Classics, and Jive Music Show. Visit our website, download our Android mobile app, or listen us on TuneIn Radio. There is so much more on Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check website or app for program schedule.
Auto Plus Car Wash, located on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Bring your car to Auto Plus Car Wash to remove water stains, wiper marks. Get your doors, roof panel cleaned, seat floor mats, buffing, headlights, and engine wash. You get quality service at the best price at Auto Plus Car Wash. They really care for your car. Call 765-5140 or visit them on the College Street Gut, Bastyr, St. Kitts. Auto Plus Car Wash, where the service is number one.
The cloak and shadows of Facebook may not be enough for some to hide behind anymore. The social media platform offers users, if they choose, anonymity to post unabashed views and sentiments. But what happens when a post goes too far? On Wednesday, December 28th, the Office of the Prime Minister rubbished allegations leveled against Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, reportedly from a United PAC Facebook page post dated 27th December 2022.
The post stated that Honorable Pierre, quote, in less than 2 years in government, like his predecessor Kenny Anthony, had been awarded a brand new white BMW and a brand new house at Cap Estate by well-known businessmen. End of quote. These statements are false and made maliciously to damage and injure the good reputation and character of the Honorable Prime Minister, both in his professional and private stations.
According to Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Mondi Lewis, Pierre will be pursuing legal action against United PAC St. Lucia. She also clears the air on Pierre's vehicle and house ownership.
It is a fact that Honorable Pierre is the owner of a white BMW sedan which he purchased before the 2021 general elections and for which he makes monthly mortgage payments to a local financial lending institution. The Prime Minister does not own, nor was he gifted, a brand new house at Cap Estate and has remained a resident at his property in Waterworks Road, Castries, where he grew up. These malicious attacks seek to denigrate the unsullied name of the Honorable Prime Minister and will not be tolerated. The Prime Minister has therefore instructed his lawyers to pursue legal action against United PAC St. Lucia, the United Workers' Party, and all other pages which shared the defamatory content.
The government leader has resided for decades at the same address in the home built by his mother, a school teacher, and father, a policeman, when he was a young child. The Office of the Prime Minister, in the press release, encourages all members of the public to engage in the constructive criticism of the executive and hold elected office holders to account for their policies and conduct. However, the incumbent warns that there are civil legal consequences for leveling baseless and unfounded defamatory allegations intended to maliciously besmirch the character of public officials.
We encourage citizens to act responsibly in their thoughts, words, and deeds, and to call out all those who peddle lies and, when they do so, cowardly hide their identities behind fake names and organizations.
Moreover, ex-Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony also reportedly intends to pursue legal action against the aforementioned organizations for similar unproven allegations made against him. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.
We have them! We have them! Again!
The United Progressive Party will be contesting the January 18 general elections with a slate of 16 candidates. Following nomination day Wednesday, the party joined its supporters at Rising Sun grounds. The UPP won one of the 17 seats in the 2018 general elections. UPP candidate for St. John's Rural West, Richard Lewis, says the party has put in the work.
We started campaigning right after the 2018 general elections. The morning after the count, I lost, but I went back in the constituency and I worked all for the full 4.5, 5 years, making sure that I built a relationship with the people.
Challenging the incumbent EP Chet Green for the St. Paul seat is Dr. Cleon Athil. Dr. Athil says the electorate is energized.
People have already decided where they are going to vote one way or the other. I am convinced that in St. Paul they have decided they're going to vote for Athil.
One race to watch will be St. John's Rural East. Political hopeful Sean Bird will face off against Housing Minister Maria Bird Brown. Bird's decision to run on the UPP ticket against the party formed by Father of the Nation Sir V.C. Bird Sr. turned heads back in 2020.
You have to look at what's in the best interest of Antigua and Barbuda and what's happening to the Labour Party. Clearly, this is not the Labour Party of V.C. Bird, Lester Bird, etc. This is a different Labour Party, and I believe that my candidacy does say a lot. It shows that the trust that was once established on what was Labour Party is no longer here.
Political leader Harold Lovell encourages supporters to remain focused and come out to vote.
Time is now! now, let us move together with the United Progressive Party. UPP! 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 Forward to victory!
Rakib Aparisi reporting for ABS News.
After 2 months in the making and a lot of political wrangling, Israel now has a new government, the most far-right and religiously conservative one in the country's history. Despite a corruption trial, Benjamin Netanyahu returns as prime minister thanks to a coalition of an ultra-Orthodox and nationalist bloc. Heckling from opposition members in the Knesset didn't deter him from making his message clear. Israel's security continues to be his top priority.
We will guarantee Israel's military advantage in the region through unceasing empowerment. The first mission is to make sure that Iran won't annihilate us with nuclear bombs.
Also high up on the agenda is the normalization of relations with more Arab countries under the 2020 Abraham Accord. That would sideline Palestinians, as the newly released government guidelines highlight by saying, "The Jewish people have an exclusive and unquestionable right to all parts of the land of Israel." Netanyahu's new cabinet promises to expand illegal settlements in the occupied West Bank, raising fears of an escalation in tensions. On a domestic level, most controversially, Netanyahu is granting major concessions to the far-right coalition, made up of parties that until recently were still on the political fringes. Hundreds of anti-government protesters gathered outside the Knesset, demonstrating against some ministerial appointments handed out, including that of Itamar Ben-Gvir, convicted of incitement to racism in 2007. The now security minister had a personalized law passed in his name on Wednesday, giving him unprecedented powers over the police force. Other controversial laws passed include the Deri and Smotrich laws. The first allowed Aryeh Deri, leader of the Shas party, to become the interior minister, despite a recent suspended sentence for tax fraud. The latter giving Smotrich, head of the religious Zionism party, a role within the defense ministry, overseeing illegal settlements in the occupied West Bank. Critics are concerned that some of these new policies will have far-reaching consequences, including the undermining of the judicial system, whereby the Supreme Court could be overruled. These were all preconditions set by the coalition for the government to be sworn in the first place.
And we will probably see weaker Netanyahu because his party is much weaker vis-à-vis parties like the religious Zionists because of his trial and because he has no moderate party within the coalition like in the past.
This is the sixth government in less than 4 years, and Netanyahu already has a lot on his plate, with the country at its most divided. Netanyahu is back as Prime Minister, and he says he will be the one setting the agenda for the current government. He also says that red lines won't be crossed and he won't be steered by what he calls radical ideology. But he is mostly in this position thanks to a far-right coalition. Now the big question is, who will have the upper hand? Sarah Khairat, Al Jazeera, West Jerusalem.
Fighters from the People's Defense Force in Bago, central Myanmar, fire at government troops in late November. If 2021 was dominated by street protests, 2022 was the year of armed struggle. Loose bands of fighters opposed to the military coup have attacked soldiers across the country, even in areas the army considered safe. The ethnic armed groups that have fought Myanmar's government for decades now see an opportunity.
We need more coordination among our groups. That's why now we are trying hard for it. Just only 3, 4, 5 groups that we work together in the moment. But in the future, we do believe that they will come in together with us and fight against the military.
But the consequences have been dire. Myanmar's military is accused of employing a policy of scorched earth, torching areas where it detects resistance.
It is crime against humanity and war crime. For example, military has been burning thousands of houses of the civilians, killing many innocent people by airstrikes.
And that's one place the military have complete control, the skies. Airstrikes are taking place on a daily basis. More than 1 million people have fled their homes and live in remote jungle camps without sanitation or basic facilities. In the past, these steep mountains in Myanmar provided a buffer zone, stopping the conflict from spilling over into Thailand. But in the last 12 months, Myanmar's military has been using fighter jets and attack helicopters, forcing the conflict right up to the border. The borders slowly opened up after the pandemic, but little traffic is going across. The military government imposed currency controls and restrictions on investment that have stifled economic growth. This Yangon-based businessman fled after his assets were confiscated by the military. Now he makes a meager living selling noodles and tea online.
As a businessman, wherever you can find money, you do business. But if I lost my dignity, I couldn't get it back. Therefore, I will stand for the truth and I will keep my dignity.
Myanmar looks increasingly cut off from the outside. A country in paralysis, moving backwards rather than forwards. The progress of the past decade has stalled, and there appear to be troubled waters ahead. Tony Cheng, Al Jazeera, Myanmar.
Um homem desse aí que fez muito pelo futebol, modernizou, tricampeão mundial, 3 vezes campeão, né? Então vai ficar para a história, como sempre foi uma história ele, né? E vai continuar isso aí, o legado dele que ele deixou para sempre.
Ele continua vivo. Pra gente, pra todo mundo, ele continua vivo. Ele é eterno. Ele é imortal.
Sandy Point FC had a fantastic year, finishing as Division 1 champions and earning promotion to the SKNFA Premier League for the first time in several years. A team of young players united in the goal of winning the title and earning promotion. Their coach Kenneth Douglas praised their fight and grit, which earned them their coveted achievement.
Very, very joyful. It is time, it is about time that Sandy Point be playing with the elites, the big boys, the St. Paul's, the Canary, the Newtown, the Cairn. We have trained hard all the season. That was our goal, to get back up to Premier. And I'm so very happy for the boys especially.
What would you say is the ingredients that help Sandy Point come in this season and to get promoted?
Hard work and dedication, commitment. Every time I ask them to come to the field, they were there. Most of them on time, most of them sacrifice all sorts of things just to be there. And they work hard, they listen, and we get the rewards. We are in the Premier League now.
What does this mean for the Sandy Point community?
You know, we have a poor people in Sandy Point, and the people of Sandy Point want some place to go. When there's Premier League football, they will be right here supporting us. And I'm looking forward for the Premier League season coming.
With Sandy Point back in the Premier League, fans from the community, known for its pride, patriotism and passion, bound to bring some vibes to top-flight football, both on and off the pitch.
Welcome to the SKN Newsline Weather Report. I am Janil Boole. Here is a look at the forecast for St. Kitts and Nevis. For a more detailed weather report, visit our website at www.sknnewsline.com.